Hello and welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen, to a sort of an update video. It's a bit hectic here lately, so I figured I'd make a video because some things are bound to change, and only temporarily, but there's a lot to talk about, and it's not necessarily going to be like a good news video, but it's going to have some good news, it's going to have some bad news. But we'll talk about the bad news first. So, bad news, and this is stuff that's going to directly affect the channel for a little bit. Hopefully only a month or two at most. My father recently went through surgery on his knee, and he's currently recovering. Can't really move that well. So I'm going to be looking after him, taking care of him, sort of stuff like that. You know, just helping him take care of the dogs and stuff like that. And so that's going to require me to bring my work computer over there, and because his wife also works, she'll be busy, so I'll have to take over for most of the day until she gets home. So this might push streams back. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to find out Monday. I'll keep you guys posted on the Discord server, as well as I'll adjust the schedule to tomorrow, because Mondays is when this goes into effect immediately. So it was sort of dropped on my lap pretty quick, and so I didn't have a lot of time to prepare. So it's gonna be a little bit crazy tomorrow, and for the upcoming days that we're gonna have to deal with that. So and weeks, and hopefully not too long. Hopefully you can recover quickly, but you know, I'm not gonna abandon my own pops. So yeah, I'll be bringing my work computer over there, so I don't have to, you know, like carry as much stuff, but I'll leave my streaming computer here. So that means when I post on the Discord server that I'm heading back, like, hey, I'm on my way back, it takes me about 15 or so minutes, 15-20 minutes to get back home. And I'll set up everything on my computer before I leave every day to go over there, so that the stream's sort of ready to go. All the systems are set up, and the schedule thing can just be adjusted as necessary. So it's gonna suck. It's not going to be easy, but that's just kind of what we're going to have to deal with for a little while. That also sucks, because the other thing that means is that I'll be working more. Now, as you already know, I work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. Now I have to cover for him as well, because, you know, he's recovering and he can't really work at the moment. So I'm going to have to be running the business for until he can actually, like, you know, do stuff again. So it's all on me for now. There is no one else. So I have to carry all that stuff. I have to manage all the clients. So that's going to be very hectic. It's already been a rough year when it comes to working 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's going to get rough for just a couple months. Hopefully not too long. It's one of those things that it has to be done. It's not a volunteer thing. It's a thing that just got to be done. So we'll get through it. And I will maintain the streaming schedule regardless. So it might be pushed back in terms of like time, but we're going to be streaming every single day. We're not going to abandon that. Now, I know a lot of people that I've talked to already who kind of know about this, like, oh, Kibs, you know, take a couple days off and stuff like that. Well, that's nice, and I appreciate that, but that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for a couple of factors. YouTube is a job as well. It's a hobby and it's a job. And I have to maintain that content because it helps with the algorithm and our channel's growth, and even though it's very slow and very steady. And it's important, it matters, because it's part of the game development stuff. So it means no matter what, we're streaming every single day if I can help it. Now, if you want to help the channel out a little bit more, you know, you could always check out the old Let's Plays. The one I would recommend everyone is the Gears of War Mega Playlist. It's the entire Gears of War franchise with Bubbles and me playing through it. It's quite funny. My favorite one is Gears of War 3. Oh, god damn it. We were so young back then. It's only been like 2 years or 3 years or whatever. But Jesus Christ. Or 2 years? I don't even know. Feels like forever. So yes, and here's the last bit of really bad news. Now I want to get this out of the way over here because I did it on the last StarCraft stream and not everyone shows up for that. And I feel guilty about it because I feel like people feel obligated that they have to donate. You do not have to donate. Like, I want to stress that because I feel guilty all the time. It's just something that happens. But like, So this year is contract renewal, and some developments have happened for the corporation that we're a vendor for that may mean really, really bad things. Because there's been a shift in power and upper management, and because there's the shift, corporate politics and such, people that were in positions of power and executive power that were in agreement with hiring us as a vendor to protect their content, piracy stuff, that means that might be over. And if that's over, they could technically cancel that at any point. Like tomorrow they could do it, because there's a clause with that. But hopefully they'll at least hold out till November. Around November is when we're going to be getting ready for contract renewal. Now, what's so scary about this is if they don't renew, that's the end of my career working as an anti-piracy agent. It sucks, but that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter how good we work, and it doesn't matter how long we work, even though we're working as hard as we can. We're working extra hours for fucking free, pretty much. It's just how it is, Some big corporate dude decides that, this isn't particularly valuable, then, well, it's not particularly valuable. It's his decision. His or her, whatever. And that's just how it is in the industry. It sucks. But that's the reality of the situation. Now, I don't want to keep that hidden from anybody, and why does it matter? Because that will drastically affect things. I don't think I can run the game and do YouTube and just do YouTube to make money off of it, because I don't think I can sustain myself even at minimum. Just even with generous projections, let's not take into account this month, because this month you guys have been ridiculously generous. So let's just go to the norm. It's just something like it. I don't think we could do that. It's not realistic. So that means I got to find a job, and that's not particularly a bad thing. But there's a problem with that. The economy in our area, because of, the situation in Minnesota, has only gotten worse. And jobs aren't around like they used to be a few years ago. Before COVID hit, the economy here was actually doing quite well. In fact, it was very well, better than it had ever been. But since COVID and everything else, the economic situation here, even though we're not really affected by COVID, because of everyone else spurging out about this disease, has caused problems in other areas. And that's caused other things to happen that have been pretty bad. So the job opportunities here are abysmal. Like, they're not very good. And that's just the nature of the situation. Now, the plan is, if, that shit does happen, it sucks, but it might, and it could happen, I gotta find a job, no matter what. Because I need to keep the YouTube channel revenue going directly into the game's development at all costs. And I have to maintain that YouTube schedule at all costs. That means we'll be switching to life support mode. I've already done that, like I mentioned in the video. And it's not something that, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. I'm a big boy. I can figure this shit out, hopefully. So I've switched to life support mode, meaning I'm using minimal electricity and everything. I don't use lights anymore. I've been living in utter darkness for a while now, and I've been switching my dietary habits to be of the cheapest of possible, but also trying to maintain a healthy one, because having a healthy diet is important. But I'm also trying to buy cheap food and cheap things that last long times that I can use again and again and again. The idea is that I will preserve as much money as I can so that we can keep investing it in the game, keep working on the Legend of Kanara series. It's a race against time, a race I fear we are not going to be able to win if things don't pan out. And again, this is doomsday stuff. For all we know, they could renew and it could be hunky-dory the next day. It's all fine now. So I don't want people to panic, look out for yourselves. Everybody's in a dire situation. I'm not expecting you guys to donate. I'm appreciative that you do, but don't donate because you're worried about me or things like that, because I feel really, really, really bad. Because a couple people did that in the last StarCraft stream, and I feel guilty. You know, I don't want to. You guys don't need to do that. If you want to do that to support the game development, awesome. You're not obligated to. You don't have to do that. I'll find a way. I'll make it work. I've already got plans. In fact, the whole donation thing is a bonus anyways. It just means we can get even further and further and further and further, which is good. The Legend of Kanar series is progressing very, very, very nicely, thanks to you guys. Part of me regrets doing the Legend of Kanar series. It's like, let me explain. So, the Mixers project, as it's called, is the IP we're trying to create. It's a project name. It's a very, very old name, and it has very little to do with the story anymore. The whole Mixers thing was a joke. It was like, oh, ha ha ha, we throw a bunch of stuff into a blender, and it's like, we call them mixers. And it was pretty basic. It was like everything that we had ever fantasized, Tyler and I as little kids, because we basically found it together. And, yeah, so it's one of those things where the project is very big, and so Legends of Terrestria, the game, is only a part of that project. The Legend of Kanar, which is a sub thing that's attached to Legend of Terrestria, is just like a lore series. It's going to be... The idea behind it is we're making custom art assets while I write the lore, while also trying to work on the game. So I've added more work. There is regret. There is regret in that regard. I've overworked myself to an insane degree, and I'm feeling it badly lately. But that's only because of the current situation. It was fine before. We are behind my personal deadline for getting the Kanar series done, and I do not expect that it'll be done this month like I had really hoped it to be. Things have just unfortunately gone very badly lately. That's unfortunate. But we'll keep working away. We've made serious strides and headway to getting it done. The concept art Carlos has been busting ass on has been fucking awesome. It's been fruitful, and he's actually helping partake in the creative process, which is helping offload the incredible workload that I've put on myself. So that is very much appreciated, and a special shout out to him for that. But yes, the Legend of Kanar series, the idea behind it was to boost interest in the game, because for a long time, for years and years and years, I've been working on this goddamn fucking project, and I haven't been able to tell you guys hardly anything about it, and it's absolutely fucking killing me inside. I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of working on something and being like, oh, I can't wait till you guys see this. It's like, yeah, that doesn't mean shit. I want to show you guys something, and I want to show you it now. I'm tired. I feel like I lie to you guys because I don't show you hardly anything. Like, I do show you stuff, but it's like brief snippets, barely anything. Like, if you guys could just see the bigger picture, if other people could see it too, I want to know. I have to know. I have to know that I'm not the only one who thinks this is something greater than not just myself, but this entire team. I'd like to believe that. I would like to see that too, but, you know, you can wish in one hand, you can shit in the other. One's going to have something significantly warmer. That's unfortunate. But we're going to continue to strive to get the Legend of Kanar done. That's the thing that we can get done as a lore series, and it'll help so much. I told people about Kanar and the Battle of the Gods and stuff like that, and the Starborn Pantheon and the StarCraft stream we did last. I don't know what the timestamp is, otherwise I'd give it to you so you don't have to skim through it. But we talked about it, and I talked about it in a link, because the Legend of Kanar I can actually tell people more about, because it's not a part of the game, it's not really a big secret. And it was interesting to see how many people actually like, oh, that's really cool, that's interesting, or like, oh, neat. Like, that's the kind of reaction that gives me hope. Not much, but hope nonetheless. Either way. We got to continue to work on the game. We got to continue to get the Kanar series done. We got to maintain the channel, and I have to run the company for a month. And I cannot stop doing one of those things. It's just how it is. This is gonna suck. I'm not looking forward to this either, but we're going to do it, and we're gonna do it with our chins up because we have no other choice. We got to maintain the YouTube algorithm, we got to maintain the workflow for the game, we got to maintain everything. And we have to do it to our absolute best, so it's a heavy burden to carry this month, and probably next month. But it's one we must shoulder. I'm not looking forward to it. It begins so soon. It begins so soon, and I'm so tired. I'm so very tired. There was a point this year when I was like, yeah, I'll use my vacation days to work on the game. And now I'm starting to wonder if I will ever have vacation days, because I realize now that there's only so much time to work. You know? And when you're self-employed, it's a different thing. It's a very different thing. When you're self-employed, you realize that every minute you work, every ounce of work you do counts. It matters more than anything, especially now. It's not like you're working for some mega corporation, working for a family business, you know, and in a time where the economy is now beginning to decline again, and things are not looking so good around here. And the world's on a little bit unstable now. Again. It's weird. But it's one of those things that it is what it is. And you just gotta, do it. You can't be a little bitch about it. You gotta do it. And that's, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, sometimes you do things you don't really want to do. Sometimes you have to do things that, that will drain you of your energy and, everything, even your money and your wealth. But if you don't take risks in life, if you don't take things, like if I didn't decide Legends of Terrestria was worth everything I'm worth, where I invest every single cent spare money I have into the project, and then I started the YouTube channel because Arch inspired me to get back into doing YouTube, which was helpful advice because YouTube has helped generate revenue and helped me find new people that work on a project. Had I not done those things, it could have been very different. It could have been very, very different. Either way, it's something I will not be abandoning, regardless of whatever may come. I'm too far in it now. The sunk cost fallacy is set in real hard. It's sink or swim. This is my life ambition. I've decided that years and years ago. I'm in it, 100%, all the way. So, thank you all for being a part of this journey, for supporting us, and for just simply being there. We appreciate it more than you can ever know. I have some special things that we are working on the side as special treats and rewards for you guys that everybody will be receiving, though we will be giving early access to the people who have donated once. And let me remind people, if you have given $1 before, please join the Discord server and DM me or Bubbles with your receipt, but censor out any personal data information, because you get access to the early access room stuff, where I'm going to be putting some wallpapers we're having made by Carlos and Indio. They're working together on some wallpaper stuff in regards to promo material, not for Kanar but for the game actually. I've decided to spend a little bit of that extra food money I had on some cool wallpapers because I've managed to be so cheap with eating it's not even funny. Getting really, really sick of fucking noodles and bread. But it's one of those things you'll get used to, right? It grows on you the more you have it. Oh boy. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude today's little update. So there's some bad news, there's some good news. The good news is the game's making a lot of progress, which I just realized I didn't talk about that at all. My fucking bad. I got so sidetracked with the annoying stuff. But yes, the good news. Game is coming along very nicely. Cash has been switched over to doing programming as well as other stuff that has increased his prices, but it's well worth the cost and increase because he's a excellent programmer and fantastic sprite maker, dude. It is a good move because now the combat build, and I was talking to him, and he's like, his estimates are that we're gonna see something hopefully within this year. It's maybe even presentable with the combat build, which would be incredible. Because presenting the combat build along with Legend of Kanar, or getting an episode of Legend of Kanar out, would help so fucking much with signal boosting the IP. Because there's nothing to signal boost besides some concept art and some minor text. We need more. We need to get further. We need to get the combat build done. We need to get the overworld build done. But getting that combat build done will be the significant step in the right direction. That will get us very close to actually achieving our goal of just being able to present stuff and start generating interest in it. Because the more I work, the more I spend this time investing every penny I have and working all these hours, the more I realize that I don't think we can do it alone. I don't think we can just do it with, you know, the money I make and the money we make off the YouTube channel. I think the more I work on this, the more I realize that we might have to resort to Kickstarter or something to crowdsource it. But we're going to need something to back it up. It's got to be boosted. There's got to be something to show for. And I want to do all the heavy lifting beforehand. I want a playable demo at the bare minimum before we even think about Kickstarter. It's one of those things. Personally, I loathe the idea. But it's at the same time, it's like, can we afford all the things? And it's like, yes, we could. But it would require everything. It would require the stars to literally fucking align for me. And right now, they're not aligning for me. They're being very stubborn, and they're floating all over the place. But that's just how it is, you know? But either way, things are looking very good on the game's development front. Kanar is looking very good, even though we are behind schedule. The writing, I think, is strong. And I have good confidence in it. Even though the only time I've ever written anything, and people have ever read it or seen it, is when I masquerade as somebody I'm not on some forum for something somewhere else, just pretending and making shit up, just to see how people react to the stuff I say. Sometimes even masquerading as somebody with a fake story. Like, I do that. That's something, you know, I'll admit that finally. I do lie. I do go around lying on forums, pretending to be people that I'm not. I also do that in my job because I'm infiltrating things, but that's for other things. It's good practice. But, like, I want to see, like, that... People, I've never been called out for anything. Not in those cases. And I want to see if the story I've made has actually got some fucking meat to it. Something, you know? I gotta know. I've worked so long on it. We made a fucking 15 gigabyte fucking map. Okay? It's got like 400 or 500 fucking layers. There's a tectonic plate layer, but that one I couldn't even find anymore. Like, I don't even know anymore. I feel like I've worked so hard on this, and I feel like it's just, you know, it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking. It's like you've worked and you've invested everything you're worth into this thing. And it might not even be good enough to even catch someone's eye. They might look at it and go like, meh, and then they're like, leave. And they're like, no. Be like, that's just how it is, though. Well, it's just how it is. It's not their fault. That's just how it be. Bubbles will kill me for saying that like that, but, you know, that's how it is. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this recording because I've got a lot of work to do. An insane amount of work to do, and preparation for tomorrow. So begins the long march yet again. We did something crazy like this last year, and looks like we're doing it right away this year, so might as well get into it. Either way, you guys have a fantastic day. As always, thank you for being here, and thank you for your support. If you're interested, be sure to join the Discord server. Why do I advertise the Discord server and never advertise likes and subscribes? Because it doesn't make me cringe as hard. Because advertising that stuff makes me cringe. Before anybody asks, because everybody was fucking rags on me for that. It's like, yeah, I don't ask for likes or subs. Because, I feel like people will do that on their own if they really care. And if they don't care enough to do that, then, well, we gotta try harder. But our Discord server, on the other hand, is an exception to that rule. It's also a place where you can communicate directly with myself and other people. Though I don't always get back to people. And if you DM me weird stuff, I'm not gonna get back to you. You know who you are. There's like 3 of you, and you know who you are. You're like, Kib never respond to me. Yes, because you say really weird stuff. I'm not gonna respond to that. You gotta talk like a big boy, like a normal person, and then I'll respond. So don't be weird about it. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have yourself a fantastic day, and we'll see you in today's stream, actually. Oh, kill me.